Well, welcome everybody. My name is Susan Day, and this is another one of Bill Ballou's webinars. Today we're going to ask the question, is Facebook a waste of time? So we'll get started. Like I said, jump in anytime you like. If you feel you want to share your own experiences. The sort of things that we're going to be looking at in this presentation today is just, are you busting your gut to get more likes for your page? And are you wasting your time pretty much? You know, every business now is told to be on Facebook. We're told to have a page or even a group, and we're told to get likes. People must like our page. That way they will see our content. This is not necessarily the case. So I've drawn together some bits of research for this presentation, but like I said, jump in and share with me your own experiences, please. In about 2 years ago, Facebook was forced to de-emphasize the like because it was no longer an influence, and it doesn't have the same reach as it used to. Getting more people to like your page might inflate your vanity stats. Now, that's a really interesting term that I've seen bandied around a bit lately, is people saying, well, my page has so many likes, and I know there's research that says that if more people like your page, more people will attend to like it. If you've only got a handful of people, say less than 100, that tends to put people off. Technically, no, we really are sheep. If there's two stores side by side and one is full of people, the other one is empty, we tend to go into the busy one. It's just the way we work, really. So that the number of likes you have, I should say, can influence your the amount of people you get to like your page. But what I'm interested in exploring today is, does it really matter? What does it mean? And the research is saying that this doesn't necessarily mean that more people are going to see your content. And I think that's quite disheartening. So we've got here, having a lot of page likes doesn't necessarily mean your message is getting through. It's the engagement of the post that you put. That's the most important thing. And I want to look at what you're posting. And today's webinar, I really want to challenge everyone to consider what they are putting on their Facebook page. You're really better off checking the average likes of a page, rather its updates, rather than the page itself. And that's an indicator of the sort of quality and the measure of how well your business page is going on Facebook. And it also unbalances. So every time someone unfollows your page, that affects the metrics and all sorts of things as well. So it's very complicated. Of course, nobody knows and nobody has the right answer, but it's certainly worth exploring. One of the reasons that prompted me to choose this topic was, I remember exactly almost 7 years ago when my daughter was expecting her first baby, and she told the world she was expecting and she was pregnant. And then the adverts down the side, remember those? They used to be down the side, and they're still there, of her Facebook changed, and we had a discussion about that. Obviously it was about babies and toddlers stuff and nappies and prams and things like that. Now we're getting so many videos and so much advertising within the content of our timelines. It's beginning to be, I find it quite cluttered and annoying, but that's me. I might be a bit old-fashioned. So here we have almost a quarter of the world's population is now on Facebook, and we have to remember this is the Western world, that there are many people, the Chinese people are not encouraged to go on Facebook, and they say, they can't. You can imagine if they have access to Facebook with the billions of people, that it would just be enormous. It says here that the USA, nearly 80% of internet users are on Facebook, and I'm sure that's the same all across the world. Social networks feed off our interactions. So the more we interact, the more we join, the greater they get, the more powerful they become. And also we're looking at one of the things one of the things I wanted to look at again, and this is you need to work on, frame this in how you're going to create your own adverts or your own posts on your Facebook page, is that thanks to the internet, each person with a marginal view can see that he's not alone. So, if you want to paint every building in your city red, there's bound to be a few people that would agree with you. And so there's some really crazy ideas out there. And people are starting, they're creating memes, and there's a lot of political, a lot of socio-economic stuff coming through as well. So even without social media, social, ethical and environmental and political ills all get some sort of minimal visibility. Some would argue that that's a good thing because we're becoming more and more aware of what's happening in the world. However, it's shifting the balance of power. And again, that can be a good thing, but it also can lead to what they call slacktivism rather than activism, where people will just click, like and share and then feel that they've done some good in the world. So that's an interesting aspect I think we should consider when we're creating content for our pages. But yeah, like I said, jump in if you want to. So really, if the brief history of Facebook is that it was began at the universities, and it was an idea of the people at college that could keep in contact with each other. It's obviously now evolved to much greater things than that. And it is a great way to keep in contact with your relatives overseas if you've never met them, or if you can't travel a lot. It's a great way to see family photos that you would never get to see, and videos even. However, it is being used to shape political, business, world culture, education, careers, innovation, and even more. And it's interesting that this next part is that 60% of people now go to Facebook to get their news. They don't read the newspaper. They don't watch TV. They certainly don't go to online newspapers. They just wait to see it come up on Facebook. So I've got a chart on the next slide that says what people want to share. What I just want to add is the research. When I searched the research, I only looked for stuff that was about 1 month old. So most of the stuff we're reading here is quite current, and I've got the source details down the bottom of each slide. So we have here, people want to share, 84% want to share information that's a cause or something they feel strongly about. So that's really powerful. How does that shape, how does it influence what you're going to post in your business? A cause or an issue. 94 like to share valuable information. So this is products that work, I suppose. And that's why we're seeing an influx of short videos on how to use this particular product, how it will save time, how it will make your life better. Is that something you can tap into? 68% use social sharing to build an image and demonstrate who they are and what they stand for. So again, that's a little bit of brand building, for particularly for individuals and maybe sole entrepreneurs, but also mainly for small businesses too, I think. 78%, they use it to integrate, to integrate, grow, get a sense of fulfillment, nurture relationships and stay in touch with others. And the last point there, 69% simply do participate and feel that being involved in what's happening in the world. So there's quite a few different things. I don't want to go into this and sort of break them down. I'm interested to know if anyone has any experiences, if they track each individual post they put on their page, and if they're relating somehow to these kind of figures. So, it's really very interesting. There will be a recording of this, of course, on Bill's forum, so you can stop and go through the slides and check the information out. Good. So now new research is showing that the life expectancy of a story posted on the web is about 2.6 days. It is 3.2 days when it is shared on social media. And it's a difference of 23%, which, I don't know, it's sort of do I, don't I sort of stuff, but it's considerable when we're talking about the billions of people who are online every day. So this little graph here is just just gives you a nice visual representation of those figures. Again, how does that affect what you're going to post on Facebook? Are you taking, like I do, because I'm lazy, do you just automatically retweet your old posts or your new posts onto Facebook and leave it like that? or do you manage them a little bit better? Do you do it do you have time to do it manually, as it were? So again, I think, what are we going to post on Facebook? If you want to beat the average of 2.6 days online, or 3.2 days on Facebook, how are you going to make your content shareable? So let's keep going. Unless anyone would like to interrupt me, by all means, you are more than welcome. So now I've got some information, and this is just a rough estimation of what likes do on your Facebook page. Okay, so again, this is an average, and I'd encourage you all to go through your Facebook page and make note of the, you'll see there's obviously a little orange bar down the bottom that gives you an indication of how many people have seen it. You can also go into the Rats and Stats side of your Facebook page, and it'll be broken down even in more details. But yeah, so let's assume that your page has 500 likes, and that's pretty okay. I don't think that hard to get to. So what Facebook will do is push out your news and your updates to about 10% of those people who have liked your page, and they're called fans. So that brings it down to 50 people, 50 fans see your post, who may or may not even engage with the content you're posting. So if you're posting engaging content, more fans will see it. If they like and share it, then Facebook will share it with more people. That's pretty much how it works. If it doesn't, then Facebook drops it like a hot potato, I suppose. Yeah. So with 500 real Facebook likes, business pages have the chance to reach a very broad audience if, and the if is really big, the post gets a few likes and comments initially. It is a timing-based algorithms as well. So the more engagement, the better in those first crucial 2 or 3 hours, I guess. So again, we take that information and compare it with what we've discussed earlier about what people are sharing, what they want to share, and we're going to have a really good look at at what we're posting. So now let's go up a bit. Let's say you've managed to push your likes up to 1,500. Now, I think that's a pretty big number. I think it's a big ask. We do talk a little bit about fake accounts and buying Facebook likers. Is that a word? I don't know. But yeah, so people that you can actually pay and you probably all know that's a complete waste of money. However, so if we go back to 1,500 likes, again, we're looking at the 10% of those, and that's 150 fans might see your page. They might even engage in it. You think, oh, that's a lot more. But with the 500 likes and 50 of them seeing the post, is much more possible that they are real fans from your local area, or people that you engage with. Whereas your 1,500, your 1,500 fans, they might not be. They might just there are people just like stuff. They like stuff all over the place. And we encourage them to do that. So what this slide is really trying to tell us is that it's better to have a group of people who like your business page, who are genuinely interested in what you do, and they're not just like it because, they think you're funny, or you posted a great meme about cute dogs or something like that. And in actual fact, there's a bit of information down the bottom there that says that if you do purchase Facebook likes for your page, it can actually reduce the amount of exposure your page gets, because they don't engage. And again, it comes down to that balance. And the people who create fake accounts will also their likes will get plummeted to 0. They're good. So now, are there any questions so far? No. Okay. I have a bit of experience with this in the canine world, insofar as about 8 years ago, I adopted a little blind puppy. And 8 years ago, Facebook was 7 years ago, was quite different to the way it works now. I set up a page for a Facebook page for her, because I wanted to encourage other people to know what it was like to adopt and train and look after a blind dog. She has, her page has, I don't know, 2,500 people who like it. However, I've done nothing to promote that. That's just organic traffic. I don't. The information there is 5-6 years old. It just exists on its own. But she still gains people who like her page, which I think is really, really interesting. I also have a Facebook group for dog owners, and that's mainly populated by people who are used to train their dogs. So after 10 or 12 years of dog training and being online, I was able to populate that group to over 200 followers within the first month or so. But again, it's people I know. And there are some people who asked to join the group, but there have been a very, very small amount, and they don't engage at all. So again, it just seems to come down to getting people that you know, getting people that know you and want to be part of your mission or your thing that you're doing. If your news updates or post has been pushed out to Facebook users that are not true fans, you're going to find it's nearly impossible to grow your reach. In reality, it's better to have less Facebook likes than more. So there you go. So this is the facts. This came out of an article that was written a couple of weeks ago. If you have 50 Facebook likes, but they are all real fans, the likelihood of them engaging is much higher, and if they engage, it'll get shared more. So again, it seems to come down to quality over quantity. So again, think about what are you going to post? How's that going to influence what you are creating? And are you wasting your time running around joining groups where, you know, I was in an author group, and it was, if you like my page, I like yours. You know, big deal. I think I got 500 extra people to like my page. It was extraordinary tedious work because you had to make sure you liked everyone's page, or somebody would get cross and narky with you. So yeah, it wasn't worth the effort, and it wasn't worth the time. And I'm sure most of those people have dropped off that particular page I manage. Good. So any questions? Are there any stories to share? All right then, you're a quiet bunch. I'm just going to keep talking. So now what we're going to look at is what you can do instead. And if you're a regular attendee on Bill Bellew's forum, or you listened to these webinars before, you're going to realise that what we're going to say next is really, you've got to get content. You've got to, you've really got to work on providing excellent information for people that will generate organic traffic. So if you have a practice or a business that gets customers through search, it's better to sink your internet marketing budget into other things such as content, copywriting, building a strong presence on social media websites that can be crawled by Google and other search engines. This is not a webinar that says you need to get off Facebook and waste your time. What we're trying to look at today is how can you effectively use your time, not spend any money, and also get the best out of your Facebook page. And of course, we know if you want to increase your search rankings, you must create amazing content that is shared throughout the web. Create it on your website. And again, we've covered this before, but make sure if it's on your website and you're hosting it, you own it. And that's really important. We can't imagine a world without Facebook, but there would have been a time when somebody would have tried to imagine a world without MySpace. Is that what it's called? I can't even remember anymore. But there have been quite a few social media platforms that have died off or been taken over, or people have just left in droves, and the people who built their businesses around them lost out big time. So create amazing content on your website, share it on your page, monitor it, and think about how shareable it's going to be. So with this in mind, you need to create all this great content. And again, it can be videos, it can be podcasts. Memes, of course, are very good. There's a rule of thumb when you're posting a video on Facebook: do not use your YouTube link. upload the video from your computer directly to Facebook, and it will be presented much clearer as well. So that's the end of my presentation for today. If you want to talk content, you can either speak to myself from getonlinefast.net, or you can speak to billbellew.com. Join the forum, ask lots of questions. It's a great place. It's really, really friendly. If you've got any issues at all with your Facebook page, if you're worried that it's just your mum and your dad and your cousins that like it, that's okay. That's okay. We'd love to hear it, and we'd love to share with you some of your stories too. So thank you for joining me. It's been great. I hope you've enjoyed Bill Bellew's Wednesday Webby. I look forward to talking to you next time. Take care.